Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Welcome to a really lovely but chilly day here. I hope you are well on this Friday afternoon. Say afternoon, it is 1 minute past 1 here in the UK, and we are ready for a phenomenal launch day. Now, we gave you a first look yesterday when it comes to the launch day, but what we didn't tell you was one, the price, and two, what the showstopper is going to be. Let me tell you, if you've not already seen it across on the website, the showstopper is exceptional. And I'm going to say it this time, all the extras that you are getting are really, really useful. They are handy, and you're absolutely going to be using them when it comes to the brand new launch of the half Create-A-Card dies. Now, before we go into the details, what I do want to let you know as well, you're going to find it all across on the website. You might still find some items lingering from the Global Warehouse clearance that you can still check out as well. They're there. What we have done though is we've had to take quite a lot off because it's gone. But there is still some things there that you'll be able to take advantage of. Best place to go, .co.uk.com or .eu. I say the best place, that's where you need to go. The best place to go on that website though is of course Shop the Day. You're going to find, yes, you're going to find the showstopper. We do have an option with just the dies or individually. We'll go through all of that over this show here within this launch day, but that's where you need to go to grab hold of the brand new launch. We've still got the outlet sale as well. If you've not checked it out recently, have a look because we've got some new lines added. Now, that's the main stuff that I need to go over. We're back together for the final day before Ben and Debbie Robinson take over for next week. And yes, we've got a cracking launch, don't we, Debbie?
Oh my goodness, Craig, we've got such an amazing launch because it is going to be amazing. I love a Create-A-Card die, and these are going to wow you. I'm going to show you some samples before we head back to Craig because they are so beautiful. You're already shopping for them, and I'm not surprised. You know, with a Create-A-Card die, there's so much scope to be really creative or keep them really simple. And we're going to be showing you lots of different ideas throughout the next couple of hours, which is going to be amazing. It is Friday. It is that launch day, and these are the Create-A-Card dies. So you can see here that beautiful one. Now this has been done over the top of the card, at the side of the card, cut away here, which means you can then be really sort of adventurous with whatever you want in the background. What about paper piecing, colouring in? I love this bow. It's absolutely beautiful. Just a really gorgeous design. For all you flower lovers, we've got that beautiful rose as well. Again, just cutting it at the top of your card there. The butterfly is beautiful as well. I love this one. Half sort of paper piece in it, but you can see it's cut on the side of your card there. The hearts, we showed this yesterday when we were looking at the, yeah, we've got a little bit of a shaker element going on there. Beautiful design. And I know this is Craig's favourite, is that amazing across. I mean, that is just beautiful, isn't it? I mean, we're white, we're silver, lovely sympathy card, but also lovely christening card, wedding, Easter, lots of different ways that you can use that one for, and these are the dies that we're going to be looking at for the next couple of hours. It's going to be a fun one, Craig.
It really, really is. We're going to dive straight on just in a moment. However, we've got lots of you are tuning in. We've got Linda's on the social for launch day, so it's lovely to see Linda here. So if there is anything that you want to ask while Debbie's here, anything you need her to recap on any of the demos that she's doing, or anything, you know, crafty-wise, question-wise that you want to ask, then send them across to Linda. But Lois is in saying hi everyone from Ohio. Well, hello to you too. We've got Nicola is producing today. She said, I am. And then we've got wee Jamie, who is then directing, just saying hello. Of course, we've got myself, we've got Debbie. At last, thankfully, Tracy has taken a well-deserved kind of half day, so she's away for the rest of the day, but we do have Jamie. We've got Jake. When I say at last, I mean that she deserves a half day. She's been so busy. Not that I am happy to get a day of peace from Tracy. It is
well,
that she well deserves. Well, there is that as well. There is that as well. Let's face it. Let's face it. But she absolutely does well deserve that half day, so she's got her weekend off. Sarah Brown is saying, hello, my lovely friends. It's Friday evening here to you all. We are... yeah, let us know. Nicola's saying, let us know how... Actually, no, don't let us know how Saturday goes, because that then means you're going to tell me the results of the WWE Elimination Chamber, which is happening tomorrow here in the UK morning time for you guys in Australia, depending where you are, because Elimination Chamber is taking place in Perth. So I know it's the other side of you, of course, Sarah, so don't tell me how tomorrow's going to go. Pat's in saying, hello, Craig, Debbie, Linda, CCTV staff, and all of the crafty cuties from a very cold and dreary New Jersey. Yes, well, it is lovely, but as I say, it's a rather bit chilly here today. Teresa Campbell saying, good morning, everyone. Beth Malone saying, hello from upstate New York. Caroline is saying, good morning, good to see you both. Stephanie Theodosa saying, good morning and hello. Christine Mahoney saying, good morning. I love these so much. I know that you're going to be grabbing these, Christine. And we've got Cindy is saying, good morning, everyone, from a rainy central Massachusetts. Well, glad to see you're all there. Glad to see that you are all well. And I'm glad to see that you're raring to go. So let's do it. Let's have a look at our brand new launch. This is our everyday half create a card dies. Now, we've done a range at Christmas time that you guys absolutely bloomin' loved. Well, we've got the everyday ones. Now, let's show you these ones because I'm going to show you the showstopper. And I know that this is what most of you are going to be going for. Now, when you've got the dies, you can see that you've got that big, bold bow within that half create a card die. You've also got your love hearts. You're also then going to be getting the rose, that floral. Look at the detail of the outline that you've got. Cuts in, cuts out on each side that Debbie will be showing you over the next couple of hours if you didn't see first look yesterday. You've got your butterfly, and you've also then got the couple under the tree. And then, yes, my favourite, that beautiful cross that you can see. Good, sizable dies, everyday half create a card dies, but that's not it when it comes to your showstopper. When it comes to the showstopper, we are, and in my opinion, this has probably got to be one of the best useful showstoppers that we've done. We're giving you your linen cardstock as well. So that is from the Hydrangea collection. So you've got the beautiful pastel tones. We are giving you your acetate. We're giving you your 3 rolls of low-tack tape. We're also going to be giving you your full pack of small foam pads. Now, that today's price is £105 or $130. You've got a platinum price of £84 or $104. Now, just to let you know, the linen cardstock, the foam pads, the acetate, and also the 3 rolls of the low-tack tape. Individually, they would be £41.96, or for you guys stateside, they would be $54.92. Not today. Within the showstopper, it works out that you're getting them all for £10 or $10. So again, that's the linen card, foam pads, the acetate, the low-tack tape. Individually, you would be £41.96 or $54.92. Incredible value on its own, but as a bundle within the showstopper, it works out that you're getting them all for £10 or $10. The foam pads on their own are worth £16.99 or $19.99. That's why I know, and actually you're proving the point already, all of you so far are going for that showstopper, which I'm not surprised. We do have them on the website. If you just want the brand new dies, that's there. You can have a little look. If you want them individually, have a little look. But when you see the price, I am just going to tell you the price of them on their own, £95 or $110 just for the 6 dies. Look at your showstopper price. You can see the value. And you've got your 4 most useful elements: linen card, foam pads, acetate, and low-tack tape. That's why you're going for the showstopper. Debbie, great showstopper, but great cards and projects that you can make with these.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's probably one of my favourite showstoppers.
Snap.
I think the most usable. Everything in there has been thoroughly thought out. Great team in the offices there that have put that together because that cardstock you're going to use, the acetate we're going to use in our demos, the foam pads, everything about that yellow tack tape is just all those things that you're going to use so much of. Right, let's have a look at the first one, which is Love It in the Air. We're going to start off quite simply now, and we're just going to cut into some black cardstock. I just think these dies are so intricate, but sort of really modern looking as well. So we're just going to take that off of there. Always pop that on the back of your packaging, then that way your cardstock's never going to stick to it and you know where it's going to go back as well. So we're going to pop this. Now, I've just created, this one is just a 6x6 card length, and we're going to cut it into the side of here.
Okay.
So all we're going to do is lay that across, pop this down. Now, these dies will all all fit through an A5 die cutting machine. But what I would say, Craig, is that if you have a Gemini Junior, sorry, they will go through your Gemini Junior and your Gemini Midi, but all depending on what side of cardstock you're going to cut out of. So this one would easily go through both of them. So we're just going to place that onto there. Now, the first thing we're going to use is something that is in your showstopper, which is your low-tack tape.
Oh.
So that's a definite need straight away. So even if you're not going for the showstopper, which I'm sure most of you are, make sure you do grab your low-tack tape because you're going to need that to keep your dies in place when you're cutting out that platform. Now, just to reiterate, just in case anyone's new to die cutting, I'm using my base cutting mate with my card, my die facing down, my plastic shim, my magnetic shim, and then my top plate, cutting plate on the top. And that's how we do our die cutting with most of our dies.
Okay.
There might be a difference in your manual with other die cutting machines and sometimes with the Gemini as well, because your magnetic shim is magnetic for a reason. Not only is it an additional shim, it will also hold your dies in place. So if you're new to die cutting, it's perfect for doing that.
Okay.
We do it our way so we can see our dies and know exactly where they're positioned on our card. So all we're going to do is take that away. You can see it's coming away at the side there. Just got a little bit at the bottom, which is just tore, but I'm just going to literally trim that one away. And that's going to give me that beautiful detail. In fact, I'm going to leave it like that so you can see it. Look at that detail in that die. It's just absolutely stunning. This is when we're talking about a level of intricacy in a die, when you get that sort of level die cut in one pass through your machine, which is amazing, absolutely amazing. So let's pop that to the side. And then we are going to, we're going to actually use just a little bit, and I mean a little bit, of gilding wax. So I'm just going to, I did that just so I can get all my dies out, see, nice and clean. And then we're just going to take all our little pieces, pop them in the bin, and then we're going to bring, and actually, while we're waiting, I am going to cut this again. This time though, I'm going to cut it into some silver mirror card. So let's just run that one through as well while we get our gilding wax out. So let's pop that down.
And I mean, this scene could be anything, couldn't it? You know, whether it's love or whether it's anniversary or whether it's just friendship or anything like that. You know what I mean? You've got that feel when it comes to the scene that's been set.
Yeah, anything at all. And actually, the snippability in this one is really good as well. Especially, I mean, you might not want the couple in there, so we can't actually see that. Let me just bring in a bit of cards so you can actually see what you're looking at. There we go, pop that there. Yeah, if you wanted to cut this couple out, in fact, I have a finished one, so let's do it. Let's do it so we can show you just how good it is to snip out. And actually, I'll leave that piece of card there so you can see. But all you're going to do is follow that tree round, just like so. And then we're going to take this. You know, you could, if you were clever enough, I'm not sure I am, but we're just going to do a little, we're just going to do a little sort of zigzag, and then we're just going to follow that wheel round like so. And then that way, we've still got the grass, so you can see here, and then we've got that, look at that. So you've just got your bike, you can put anything there. So if you wanted to, you can completely change the look of that. If you even wanted to take your bike out, you could do that as well. So, but you haven't got to have that couple. That silhouette couple is going to look lovely on anything. So you could use that on anything you want. So that's a great one to have. And then all you're going to do with your gilding wax is just take a really small amount. You don't want a lot of this. All I want to do is I want to create a haze. And what I mean by haze, I'm really going gently, and we're just going to put a little bit around the edges like so. And you want the slightest touch, because you really do just want to make this sort of hazy around the edges. You can see I'm not using any more. We're just creating that beautiful haze around there. And that's just going to create this amazing, and I'll show you why I've used that in just a second. So what you're going to do is carry on with that, bring in the one that I've got here. I've just put that, you can see that a little bit better there. We've just put that haze all around our tree there, which looks beautiful.
You could use it at Halloween if you wanted, go with the dark colours.
Oh, that's a good call, yes. Yes, you could add pumpkins to where your couple was, and yeah, love that one. That's going to be brilliant. Oh, Craig, I can see that coming up on your YouTube channel now.
Thanks for the plug, Debbie, thank you.
Yeah, I love that. Yes. Yeah, you'll make tons of money on YouTube, Craig, the amount of people that you've got
Oh,
on there
loads of
as
money,
well.
Debbie.
Yeah.
Loads and loads of money, eh?
Right, now I've cut that extra piece out, haven't we, as well? Let's take this one out. And then let's just have that. So we've cut that out in silver as well. And then what you're going to do is trim this to size. I've got one that's already trimmed to size, so you can see here. Just cut that because I want that slight shadow in as well in the background and behind. Now, I haven't cut it completely because what I want to do is make sure I've got that in the right place before I do anything else.
Okay.
Now, I want to keep this all quite surreal and romantic and in the sort of moonlight. So what better than to bring in some of our Cosmic Shimmer. Not Cosmic Shimmer, Cosmic Collection, which is from the paper pad. So you could choose which one you want. I mean, we can use whichever one. We could have that. Yeah, that's quite nice, isn't it? We could use it if you want it just a little bit lighter, but let's use that one. That looks really cool. So let's just bring in our tape pen and we're just going to pop that all the way around just to hold that into place.
See, just off the back of die cutting there, Debbie, just when you get a moment, Cindy is asking, Cindy Rossi on Facebook, Debbie, are you able to just clarify, just because she's asking this because the booklet can be a little bit confusing.
Yes.
Can you just clarify that you're placing the die facing down when cutting, and then you've got your frosted shim, then it's the magnetic with the top plate, just because, and this is when she says again, the booklet is a little bit confusing because it shows a different way.
Yes, and that's what I was getting to before, is your booklet. And actually, it's not confusing. We might confuse you,
yeah.
not the booklet. So the booklet is telling you the right way to do it. And when I finish the demo, I will just run through that with you.
Awesome.
And tell you exactly what it says in the booklet and how we do it and why we do that.
Thanks,
so,
Debbie.
and I love that. That's why we have Crafters TV. It's because
That
you
is.
can ask in real time and ask us why that is. Yeah, absolutely. So all I'm going to do now, I'm taking my dotty tape pen and I'm just sort of sporadically putting that onto my backing of this die cut. Your dotty tape pen is going to be a must-have, so make sure that if you don't have one, grab that, because it's a bit more difficult to add adhesive sheets on the back here, and if you're using your sort of tacky glue, you're going to have to put a lot of little dots around. So
Right.
your tape pen, you can see it doesn't take long to do that at all. And then all I'm going to do, because this is going to pretty much fill my space, I'm then just going to go in with my normal tape pen just to make sure that we've got that going across the top and the bottom, and that's going to hold that all beautifully in place. So then let's pop that there. So I'm going to hover it over the top. In fact, I'm going to do it this way and then I can see it a little bit better. And all we're going to do is just give that beautiful drop shadow. We don't need a lot, we just need to have that looking through a little bit on there. And just on the bike, like so. And then turn that over, and then all I'm going to do, while that's still down, you can see the black coming through on the back, we're just going to burnish that down. And then once you've then got that where you want it, you can then go in and then trim these side pieces down. So it's much easier to do that afterwards. So just cutting that one down like so, a little bit on the end. And then we're going to do the same, just a very small piece.
Really is effective. I love doing drop shadows. I do drop shadows so many times now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so worth doing them. They just look lovely, and especially, and then I've done the moon from our Cosmic Collection. So we're just going to stick that into place. And I wanted this to look like it was in the moonlight because we've got that gorgeous couple. We wanted to make it all romantic. So I'm just literally going to put our moon there, turn that over again, just burnish that down. And then we're going to just add that into place. I have got myself somewhere a little sentiment. There it is. So we're going to pop a sentiment in there. I'm going to use some foam pads to just put that higher. Got them somewhere. There we go. Let's just pop that onto there. And that will finish our cards. I wanted to keep the first one nice and simple, just cutting into the front of that card. Let's just pop that like so. And there we go. Let's turn that round. And you can see we've then got our beautiful couple in that moonlight. Look at that. Looks fabulous, doesn't it?
Phenomenal. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Black drop shadow And that's exactly what you can do. Fab. And that's just one of the dies. One of the dies that you've got. Let's have another look. This is the Showstopper. Now remember, if you want just the 6 dies on their own, they're on the website on Shop the Day. If you want to cherry pick, then you can do it. We don't have any multi-buys or that on individual, but maybe you just want 1 or 2. You've got that option. But everyone's going for that Showstopper, which I'm not surprised, which we'll recap in a moment. Now, when it comes to the brand new half Create a Card Everyday dies, you're going to get the Charmin Butterfly. Big, bold, cuts in and cuts out on each side. You've got your Celtic Cross. I mean, just gorgeous. For me, I cannot wait to do selective paper piecing. I love paper piecing, but even I wouldn't do the whole lot, but I would do selective paper piecing. That's the one that Debbie just used there, Love is in the Air. So you can start to then get creative and you can start to then cherry pick by chopping into bits if you want. You've got Rose Bloom, so you're thinking all the techniques that you can do with that outline die. You've got the Bonnie Bow as well. And then last but by no means least, you've got the Amore. That is your 6 brand new dies that are in that Showstopper. Now the Showstopper also consists of your linen cardstock A4 from the Hydrangea collection. You're also going to get your full pack of your acetate as well. Now when it comes to your acetate, it is heat-proof acetate. You've got 12 sheets. Now you can still use that as a coverage for shakers if you want to, but if you want to do heat embossing, you can. You've got your 3 reels of your low-tack tape, and then you've also got your full pack of the foam pads. Now that full Showstopper itself comes to £105 or $130. You've got a platinum price there of £84 or $104. Now while you're looking at that platinum price, £84 or $104, the 6 dies on their own, they would be £95 or $110. Now, okay, yes, that's the today's price, but look at your platinum price within that Showstopper, £84 or $104. Now, if you were to go for the linen card, your foam pads, your acetate and your low-tack tape on its own, that would come to £41.96 or $54.92. And you can do that, it's on the website. But by going for it within the Showstopper, it works out that you're getting the Hydrangea linen card, your foam pads, your 12 sheets of heat-proof acetate, and your 3 rolls of your low-tack tape for £10 or $20. Individually, you'd be $41.96 or $54.92. When it comes to that price, £10, $20, your foam pads on their own individually are £16.99 or $19.99. That's why the Showstopper value is absolutely exceptional when it comes to this launch here. They're all on Shop the Day for you to check out. The Showstopper, just the 6 dies on their own or individual. But as I say, you're all going, which I'm not surprised, for the Showstopper. Now, what we're going to do is to give you the opportunity to check out your basket. In a moment, we're going to go for a break. But before we do that, I know I sound like a... Nicola, why is this still in stock? Why is it still in stock? I cannot believe we've still got it in stock, hence why we're going to bring it back. Now, this is your project planner. This is your memento keeper that you've got. Look at the price. It's £10 or $10, half price. £8 or $8 when it comes to your platinum price. Now you're getting the full memento keeper. Now you're not getting the bits of card inside, but you are getting all of the pockets. You've got 4x6, 6x6, you've got your DL or your slimline, you've got full 12x12. Maybe you're planning to create a scrapbook, and this is where you're going to start to keep and build all the mementos until you're ready to put them into a scrapbook. Or maybe, like Tiffany does, this is actually your memento keeper scrapbook. This is where you put all of your photos, all of your mementos, all of your ticket stubs, all of your little handwritten notes as to where the photo was taken and what the ticket tub was for. All of those, you can do that, of course. Now, you have got the full memento keeper. You've then got all of your wallets inside. And just so that you know, it is a triple ring bind within the middle just here. So you've got your 3 of them here. All of that, £10, $10, that works out at half price. At a platinum price, £8 or $8 for the full lot. Keep that one in mind. And then the last one before we go for a break, this would be so handy when it comes to this collection. If you're doing little bits of snipping, elongating your card to be done with the scissors at the bottom or the top, then why not use your paper trimmer? I did say it yesterday and I would say it all the time. I believe that every paper crafter needs a V-Blade paper trimmer within their stash. We'll love our guillotines and I'll always use my guillotine, but the guillotine you can't cut point to point in the middle of your card. It's a really easy way to gut your card and then you can still do scoring and measurement. Now with the paper trimmer, it says 3" by 12, so it is 3" by 12, but once you extend the arm, it actually becomes 12" by 14". So you've still got that big size with the paper trimmer, inches and centimetres, and we do also do the replacement blades on the website. There was a question yesterday that I forgot to answer. If you've got your Violet Studio blade from their paper trimmer, that also fits. Leanna said it's exactly the same, it's just the colour that's different, so you can mix and match if you want to. £10, $10, that's also at half price. Every paper crafter, in my opinion, needs a V-Blade paper trimmer within their stash. Platinum price also £8 or $8. That's on Shop the Day as well for you guys to go and have a look across on our website. But while we give you the opportunity to then, of course, check out your basket, she's back next week here on Crafters TV with Ben. It's Debbie Robinson, so let's get to know her.
I think I've always been a little bit crafty. I used to craft when I was very young, and I say craft, I used to take a needle and a cotton and sew all my own clothes, tie-dyeing and things like that. So what makes Crafters TV special in my eyes is the community, the family spirit, the education, everything to do with craft. All like-minded people who share a passion for Crafters Companion on all the things that we do. I've made some real friends as well, because we talk about customers, but really they go in as a customer, come out as a friend. The support that I get is amazing. The messages I get are amazing, and I do interact quite a lot. So I'm open any time of the day and night to answer any crafty questions. Whether I answer straight away at 3 o'clock may be a different matter, but it's lovely to be able to reach out and help. The one for me is the Ultimate Pro. The Ultimate Pro is just an amazing piece of equipment, a core product that I can't live without, because I can make all my card blanks from it. So when I mean card blanks, I mean my bases from all sorts of different shapes and sizes, envelopes on there, bowl making on there, different shaped cards on there. It literally is the tool that keeps on giving and giving. So for me, that's one of the core products that I can't live without.
Hello, I'm Ben and I'm one of the presenters on Crafters TV. So my presenting journey started when I was about 8. I started working at a holiday park here in the UK. Our US viewers might not know it, but there's a holiday park called Butlins. So what's involved with being a presenter? Well, my day-to-day kind of is ensuring I know everything that's on the show, ensuring that the guys that I'm working with obviously are happy with everything shown. I kind of feel like what I do, I'm sort of like the glue in the show, if you like. There's a bit of a crafty reference. So kind of listening to the guys in the gallery, the producer, the director, I'm sort of always listening to what they want me to do whilst the crafters are crafting. So I feel like I'm there as the glue, keeping sort of everything, as it should be. But I also think my job is to have a lot of fun, which I think I do most days. Viewers interacting, because we always love to hear from our viewers, and I think that's one thing that we do that you don't get anywhere else, is that interaction. So I think on the shows where I get the opportunity to craft, I always try and have a go. I always think that if I can show that I can do it as like a real newbie base level crafter, then hopefully I'll inspire people to have a go as well. I'm always inspired by Craig, because again, he's such a talented crafter, as our guys, as I say, all of them are, but he has obviously had a lot to battle with as far as his health is concerned. I always say this about Craig, if I'm having a bit of a bad day, I always think about Craig, because he's not so well recently, but he'll never come into work and sort of moan about how bad he's feeling with all of the health issues he's had and the operations he's had over the years. He's a big inspiration because he just gets on with it.
You've got him back next week. Good luck for that one. Right, before we have a quick recap of the showstopper, and we'll go straight to Debbie. A lot of love for what Debbie just showed you there. We've got Stephen on Facebook is saying, thank you to Julie. Julie is also an absolute wonder, as is all the team on customer service. But she says, Julie just cancelled my order and reordered the showstopper. That's great. Yeah, I have to admit, before we went live, the showstopper wasn't on Shop the Day. You had to go digging. So I think maybe a couple of you didn't quite see the showstopper. But that's great. Just to let you know, if that does happen to you, give customer service a call. They'll cancel your order and then you can reorder what you need to order. So thank you for that one, Stephen. Stephanie Theodos is saying, fabulous, Debbie. Lynn is saying, lovely card, Debbie. Sandra Dundas is saying, Craig, I got 4 more of the project organisers. I don't get why they haven't all gone either. They are so useful to sort out all of your stash. Well, Sandra's told you that, guys, at home. Get them in your basket, get them checked out so that they're coming to you. £8 platinum price, wow. And Jeffrey's in saying, happy Friday, Craig and Debbie and the most fantastic CCTV crew from a very snowy day here in New Hampshire. Well, stay safe if you've got the snow or bad weather wherever you are across the globe. Right, let's have a look. The Everyday Half Created Card dies. I'm not going to go through the full showstopper in detail because I've done it not that long ago. What I will do is I'll show you the dies, give you a little quick run through, and then we can go straight to Debbie. Now, the brand new dies, they consist of your Amor, so you've got your love hearts. You've got the Bonnie Bow, the wee Bonnie Bow. Bonnie that we say quite a lot in Scotland, a wee Bonnie lad. We've then got the Rose Bloom. I don't get called a Bonnie lad. I get called a lot of things, Debbie. Not Bonnie lad sometimes.
Never a Bonnie lad. Yeah, you're a hottie Scotty though, aren't you?
I'll take that. I'll take that. I've been called worse. Love is in the air. We've got the Celtic Cross. And then we've also got the Charming Butterflies. Now, if you want those 6 on their own within a bundle, you can do that. £95 or $110. But look at your showstopper. Showstopper, linen card, foam pad, 12 sheets of heatproof acetate, and your 3 reels of low-tack tape. You're going to get that for £105 or $130. Platinum price is £84 or $104. All of the extras, they would be just over £41 or just over $54. But within the showstopper, it means you're getting it for £10 or $20. That's the linen, foam pads, acetate, and the low-tack tape, which we all need and they come in handy with a showstopper. Right, enough from me. Let's go straight back to Debbie and see what else we can do with the brand new launch.
Yeah, absolutely, Craig. Right, let's use that Amor, that beautiful love heart die. I've got myself a piece of Centura. I love this one. It's such a lovely colour. And I've just cut it again 6 by 6 inches, and then we're going to cut into the front of that die cut. So literally just pop that on the side. Now you'll see with some of them, they're sort of slightly angled. So you've got this straight piece at the top and then this piece that comes round. So we're going to find the end of here. Now I'm going to, before I take that down, I forgot to, I can't remember who asked about the platforms, Craig. So we're just going to recap on our platforms. Cindy. So Cindy, I'm going to recap on those platforms to make it much, hopefully not so confusing. When you get your platforms, you'll get them all nice and pristine and they won't be marked. What it will tell you to do is use your base cutting mat, then it will tell you to put your magnetic shim down. Now your magnetic shim is brilliant because it's magnetic, which means that's not going to come off of there. So it will stay put on there. So it will, this is good because it gives you a grid. It means that you can put this wherever you want. So I can see that that's exactly straight and that's where I want that die to go. You can then put your piece of card over the top. So you would then place your card over the top like that. You could then lay it down. You could tape your cardstock down to your shim. Then you would put your plastic shim over the top. Sorry, no, done that wrong. So sorry, Craig. You put your cutting mat, then your plastic shim, then your magnetic shim, die down, then your card on the top, and then your cutting mat and send that through. That's what it will tell you in the booklet. Yeah. Now, the reason we don't use this is because I can't see my die. So when it comes to using your dies on here, you could, if you wanted to, before you put that down, put your die onto here. So like so, we know we want it to go on that edge. I know I want that to go straight down there, and then we could tape that down. So let's tape that there and at the bottom. So in 2 places. So then I could turn it round, pop it down, and then we can send it through and that will die cut perfectly. Now the reason we don't use the magnetic shim, because it is just an additional shim, so it's not needed to hold it. So many times we've put our dies facing the other way round and you end up cutting into this shim. So we tend to just cut straight down onto our actual shim. So you would pop that down like so, then we would use our plastic, then our magnetic, just using that as an additional shim, and then the top on there as well. So actually it's not about, Craig, trying to confuse you. It's not saying that the booklet is wrong, it's just you can do it whatever suits your needs. This way suits our needs because we can see exactly where our die is going, and that's why we do it this way. But it doesn't mean that you can't not use your magnetic shim to hold it in place. There's just different ways of doing it. I hope, Cindy, that explains things a little bit better.
I'm sure it has.
Right, so let's take those pieces away. Take that off. We're just going to take our cardstock there. Wasn't being very careful, so let's just trim that little bit that caught on the end and just at the top as well. So if you wanted to, you could take it down sort of 1/4 of an inch and then you'll get that perfect cut bottom and top. This bit's a great bit. If you wanted to and you wanted to just use this as a topper, you can always paper piece these pieces back in. So you could put your sentiment on there, you could just paper piece it back in, you could use your acetate underneath. We are going to use acetate on this one, but we're going to use it in a little bit of a different way. So let me just bring those out. Keep all these little hearts because we can use these for decoration. So we've got all these little hearts. If you was to cut them out of your cardstock that comes with the bundle, the showstopper, they would be double-sided. So you could use those if you're making a shaker card.
That's true, yeah.
So they would be perfect. So I'm just taking all these pieces out the way. And then what we're going to do, we're going to have a little bit of a messy play.
Nice.
So let's bring in some of our ink pads. Now I'm going to be using our gold ones. These ones were on offer yesterday, so the deals are still available, I've just been told. So make sure you grab them because they are amazing, absolutely amazing. So I'm going to be using our flame pink, majestic ruby and the golden. I need to put my glasses on, Craig. Why have I not got my glasses on? Then I'll be able to see exactly what they are. I think it's honey. Yes, golden honey, and your golden honey. Now, I've got a piece of acetate as well, which I'm going to be using on my card. Your acetate that comes with the pack as well will come with this protective film. Just make sure you take that off. And I'll give you the measurements of this. I've actually measured it to 8 1/4 inches and I've scored it as 6 1/2 inches. And this is going to be used for the front cover here, so we can hold that into place, and then we're going to use it as a wraparound to create a different type of domed card. But before we do that, I want to use my ink pads. Firstly, we're going to splatter on the outside. Now, just because this is Centura Pearl and it's shiny doesn't mean we still can't use our inks on there, so don't forget that. And then I've got a piece of card that's going to go on the inside. So the first thing I want to do is just add some of these colours, and I'm going to start off with my golden honey to start with. And I'm just going to put a little bit on here, like so. And then what we're going to do is we're going to spritz this with water. So spritz with water.
Just to say, Debbie, if you do want the gold shimmer ink pads, they're on the bottom of the screen. They are £33 or $50, and that's not including your platinum price.
And all I'm doing, Craig, I'm just picking that up like so. I'm not doing this in any sort of particular order. So we're just going to pop that on there. I'm going to bring in my wipe just to clear that mess. And then all we're going to do is to dry that. So we're going to dry in between each colour. Now you'll get a different look every time you do this. So just have a practice with it, but it's one of my favourite things to do. And the best way to do it is to do it in sections, so you're just picking up one colour at a time. You could mix them, you could put all different colours on your mat in one go, but sometimes you don't get, I don't think you get as good a look as if layering them. So just drying that off a bit. Once that's dried off a bit, we're going to do that now with our next colour. So I'm actually going to use this flame pink, and we're going to do the same. So just putting it like that, just a little bit on there, and then we're going to spritz that again with some water. When you are spritzing with water, make sure you put your lids on here. You don't want water going into your ink pads. And then we're just going to give that another spritz. Now, the less water you put on, the more sort of different look you get. If you put more water on, you get a sort of totally different look. And you can just keep going in wherever you want that. I quite like that. So we're going to move that one. And then we're going to dry that as well.
Fabulous. The gold shimmer ink pads, by the way, platinum price, they'd be £26.40 or $40, Debbie. That's fab for the gold shimmer. It's 8 of them. So
It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah, amazing price on those. And then what you'll end up with, you'll get this amazing colour, but with this intense gold shimmer running through it, which is beautiful. And then the last one I want to put on there, which is the more intense one, which is that majestic ruby. So we're just going to pop that on. And again, you could, if you wanted more of the yellow, you wanted more of the pink, you can keep building up those colours. You don't have to stop. You just, I would just dry them in between, see what you think, and then go from there. And we're literally going to just tap this red in. And if you want it a little bit more runnier, oh, look at that. It's looking so good.
It's so good.
So good. So like that. So we're going to leave it at that. Excuse me. And what I'm also going to do, I'm going to take the yellow because I want to. I'm just going to put a little bit on here because I want to use that. Just pop that to the side a second. I want to use that to flick onto my card here. So we're just going to take a brush, just going to water that down, and then we're just going to literally tap onto there. And because it's yellow and it's got that gold in there, let's put a little bit more. Once it dries, you get this really beautiful design on there. So let me just clear that.
I suppose you could do it with like your reactives. You just obviously wouldn't get the gold shimmer of that, would you? Or your duet.
Yeah, so with water reactives, they're not going to show on your Centura Pearl.
Gotcha.
Can you see this one? You can't really pick it up, but I come in. If I bring when it's dry, that hasn't dried, but if I bring this one in, Craig, you'll be able to see it when it's dry.
I see what you
there
mean.
you go. You can actually see it. And I've also got a dried one here. So even though I've done this one, all I've done is I've done one at home, and I've put this onto some black cardstock, and we're going to pop this in the middle just of here. So you can see now this on the inside ties in with that on the outside, but because they're pigment, so your pigment ink pads, Craig, you could do it with, but not your water reactive.
Got ya.
Your water reactive you can do it with if you're just using normal cardstock, and that's going to work perfectly. So that's what you're going to do to get your backgrounds. Now, I wanted it all dry because I wanted to be able to use the acetate. So let's stick this in to start with. And then I've actually used one of the beautiful dies that our Debbie Robinson absolutely loves. It's her favourite, the With Love die. So let's pop that in. You can just decide where you want that. Let's do it that way. And then we're just going to stick that to the inside of our card. But when you move this, you've got this amazing shimmer. I can't think we can really pick that up, but these sort of gold pieces that are in here, it's just incredible. So let's make sure we burnish that down. And then I'm going to bring in the With Love. So we've got the With Love. So I'm doing this all first. So we've got the With Love, and I've done it in the same as the outside Centura. And then I've just done a black one as well to matte and layer underneath. So let's use our dotted tape pen to pop that down. And honestly, acetate, there's so many different uses for your acetate, but look online because you would have seen us doing lots of different things with the acetate.
Yeah, there's loads out there, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely loads. But I've used mine. I want to do it as a wrap, but I also want to use it as almost a sort of a domed effect as well. So just making sure we burnish that down. That's then going to go on the inside. So keeping it nice and simple. Again, adding that shadow in. So I'm going to do it so it's sort of, as that comes around, we can sort of see that through the middle. So just like that.
I like how the aperture of that heart is big enough for you to have like a sentiment just showing in the
Yeah,
background.
it's really cool, isn't it? Yeah, they're really lovely. And let's bring in that acetate again. So I've got that acetate piece. We're going to have this underneath, Craig. So this I've measured to that 6 inches to the top and bottom here, but you can see it's a lot bigger than my actual card design. If I bend it like that, you can see it comes right out there. So first of all, we want to stick this to our acetate, and I am going to use my dotty tape pen for that as well. It's the best thing you can use to adhere anything that's intricate, and it's super strong as well. And all I would say is make sure you burnish. If you're burnishing everything, it will be absolutely fine, but you need to make sure that you do that. So I'm just bringing that round all of those pieces. And then what I am going to do is just finish that off where I've gone over the intricate parts. I'm then just going to add this bit. What you could do if you wanted to hide your glue in, and I'm not doing it just because of quickness for the demo, is you could cut another one out and put it to the back, and that would hide all your glue. So all we're going to do is make sure that that goes into the front inside of our card, and that's lined up, and then we're going to bring that over, because at the moment I'm not worried about that doing anything other than just sticking.
Okay.
So that's on my acetate. Then when I bring this over, we're then just going to really burnish that down, and that's going to make sure that's really stuck in place.
And with us being together all week, Debbie, that's one thing I've really noticed that you do all the time, is you really burnish down always on the back.
Yeah, always. I used to, so before I start, when I was on the design team, I used to actually, I actually made quite a good living out of it as well. I used to make cards for people and memory boxes.
Right, okay.
So I used to have a Cricut machine.
Oh,
so
fab.
I used to weld all my words together and make really personalised boxes and cards, and that's what I used to do. And only once someone said to me that their card had fallen apart and they'd had it over their radiator on the windowsill. And then I realised then that I need to do something to make sure they don't fall apart. People are paying good money for the cards and I don't want them to fall apart. And so Nicola's saying, did you not say don't put it on the radiator? And of course, but what I've learned is it doesn't matter where they are, even over the radiator. If they're burnished down well, they do not come apart.
That's
so I
good to
started
know.
trying them out. So then when I was on the design team, I would make cards, put them on my windowsill where my radiator was, see if anything fell off. So I used to make sure that
that's
nothing
good.
was. And nothing did, nothing ever did. So I realised then it's all about burnishing. And
Got
I
ya.
always burnish on
I
the
need
back.
to
Yeah,
start
it's
doing
a
that.
big thing that I do. Right, once you've done that, I've got this bit at the side. Now, I want this as an opening card, and I also want it to lay flat, because you can see it's sort of dome front there. So what I have got, I've just got myself a couple of hook and loops. So all we're going to do with these is we're going to put them onto the actual acetate. So these are going to go here. So let's just fold that down. We're just going to stick one just there and peel that one off. And then we're going to put one on the other side as well. And then by doing that, I'm just going to try and make sure I get them equal. So it's just on there. There we go. Then we can bend that around our card, just like so, making sure that that's... And then once we've got that in place, I can then push those down. And then that way, if you want to post this, you just open up your hook and loops. So just like that. And like that, and you've got your completely flat card, which will lay flat. So popping that on like that, and then you can see we've got that beautiful dome front, but just a nice looking card. And then all I've got here, Craig, is I've got myself a bow, which we're going to pop onto the front just to make it look really pretty. You can add extras in if you want to, like we've took some little hearts and that. And if I bring in my finished one, all I've done with this one is I've put some hearts around on the inside of there as well, just to make it look a little bit more fancy on there. But there you go, a nice background with your ink pads, and then just using it as that dome front, but with the acetate that you're getting in your pack as well.
Absolutely fab. Another cracking demonstration. Remember, after we finish with this launch day, and even in tomorrow and next week and that, you can always come back on our Crafters Companion YouTube. Although it's 24/7, you can select the show that you want to watch and recap what Debbie's been doing. Remember, she did do a demonstration yesterday in First Look as well. So between yesterday's First Look and then today's 2-hour launch, you're going to have lots of demonstrations for you to then follow. And in Stock Dependent, I'm sure Debbie will be looking at them. Debbie Robinson will look at them next week. I'll be looking at them at the week after. So you're going to get our different takes as well. But this is what you need, of course, to then make exactly what Debbie's doing, and that is the Everyday Half Create a Card dies. Now, it is a 10-piece showstopper, which does consist of your 6 brand new half-fold Everyday Create a Card dies. That then gives you your Charming Butterflies. You're also going to get the Celtic Cross. You're also then going to be getting Love is in the Air. It's the one that Debbie used first. You're going to get the Rose Bloom. And then you're also going to be getting the Bonnie Bow, and then the one that Debbie just used there, which is the Amour with the love hearts there. So that is the brand new dies. Now, you can get those 6 on their own on the website, but when it comes to the showstopper, what we're going to do is we're going to give you your linen cardstock, which is your 24 sheets, and it's from the Hydrangea. What I would say, though, ignore the title, ignore the fact it's Hydrangea. It's just beautiful pastel and deep colours that you've got within that pack. But you've got your linen card, you've got your 12 sheets of heat proof acetate, you've then got your foam pads, and you've also got your low tack tape. Just to say, the foam pads, they're the small ones, so that gives you the round ones, and it also gives you the foam strips as well within that pack. So I'm a big fan of those strips, like Nicolette is as well. So that is your showstopper. If you were to go to the website and buy the linen card, foam pads, the acetate, and the low tack tape on its own, if you put them all in one basket on their own, they'd come at £41.96 or $54.92. But when it comes to the showstopper, it works out that you're going to get them all for £10 or $20. And please keep in mind, the foam pads on their own, they're worth £16.99 or $19.99. And within the showstopper, you're getting it all for a tenner or $20. And that's worked in with the showstopper, £105 or $130. Your platinum price is £84 or $104. And that's the 6 brand new dies with all of these extras. So that's where you're getting the 10-piece showstopper. Now, let's show you a couple of other things that might take your fancy that we're going to have a look. Now, everything I'm away to show you right now, you're also going to find across on the website, and that is, of course, on Shop the Day. Now, we did have a look at these ones yesterday, and they have been that busy, that popular, and I loved the fact that we've got the most incredible price. I did ask if we were able to then sneak them in, so thankfully Nicola said yes, we could do, and that is the Cheers to You Essential 8-piece collection. Now, this is just the stamp and the dies, £29 or $37. You are saving £30.92 or $38.60, but then your platinum price for all of that comes down to £23.20 or $29.60. So that is for a recent, pretty recent collection. Great for all occasions. It's called Cheers to You, but yeah, all occasions is going to be perfect for. And then, of course, certainly for the guys that I know many people do tend to struggle with. So that's a Cheers to You 8-piece collection, and that's all the stamps and the dies that came with the original launch. What we've also got as well that we can see that's a very, very good deal. Now, I just showed you the stamp and the dies there, but if you also want the paper pad that complements and coordinates with that collection, you can do that, or it is actually called All Occasion because it's going to work for all occasions. Now, look at the price. As Debbie said yesterday, this is, this is one of the paper pads that we've done with some of the most amount of sheets. It's not often that we do 48 sheets and they're still double-sided, but this is 48 sheets, all occasion, 12 by 12, 180 GSM. What we've got for this is £5 or $5. You're saving over 65%. Your platinum price for a 12 by 12 all occasion paper pad, £4 or $4. Now, if you're going to go for that die and stamp set that I just showed you a moment ago, please, please, please pop this in your basket. Please pop a few of them in. And if you're not going for the stamp and dies, maybe you don't want them, or maybe you've already got them, I would highly, highly recommend multi-buying on this paper pad while we've got it. For £4, $4, for a lovely all-occasion generic paper pad with your stripes, your gingham, you've got your plaids in there, you've got your polka dots, your woodwork, all of those different designs you're getting. Double-sided, 48 sheets, 180 GSM, uncoated, so you can still ink and spritz and tear and do all your different techniques. And that's given you all those sheets at a £5 or £5, $5, with a saving of over £65. But your platinum price is £4 or $4, and you'll find that on the website as well.
I can only say, Craig, we must have a lot of them, because for £5 for one of those paper pads, I can't believe that's still here. And most of those £5 deals we showed yesterday are nearly all gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, incredible.
Absolutely. Actually, while we're with you, Debbie, you're going to show some samples, weren't
yeah,
you?
I thought, let's just finish this out with some samples. Don't worry, we've got another hour coming up still, and I'm going to show you lots more things. I'm going to actually use this one next and show you how we can make this style of card. But it's absolutely beautiful, this cross. Just a really lovely way of doing it. And what I love about all of these Creator card dies is whatever you have in your stash, whatever colours you have, whatever card pads, whatever little embellishments, whatever sentiments, you can use whatever you want on these, and they're just going to look absolutely amazing. I do love that one. That's just paper pieced in, that heart, which looks incredible. You've probably got some fancy papers. I'm actually thinking, use your stencils, the heart stencils that we've had in, and you could create your own little personalised one there, or even stamp your message straight in the corner. I absolutely love this die. I think there's so many different uses for this, but what I do love about it is the fact that you can use it with so many different ways. So if I just open that up, that's just regularly cutting on the front of that card.
Beautiful.
Little bit of ink to ink around, just looks incredible. I love it, absolutely love it. It's another one with that cross, but look at that, so different to that one I've just shown you. You could just use these as toppers for the front of your card. What about easel cards? That one you can see is cut out right from the inside of the card and then just layered with extra cardstock on the inside. But that looks beautiful, absolutely beautiful. That butterfly, really gorgeous design that you can, I mean, half paper piece it back in. Looks beautiful as well. Love that one. I mean, that is nothing simpler than cutting that heart one, matte and laying some black on the back to create that shadow, and some fancy papers, really beautiful. And then that one's using it in the same way with the acetate to then paper piece back in. And actually, you could paper piece all those pieces back in, which are going to look amazing. Few more just want to show you. I love this one, Craig, because actually this is done on that diagonal of the card, but works really well, doesn't it?
So well.
Looks so pretty. Another one of the cross there. Another one with that beautiful couple. That's really lovely, that one. And then another one here. In fact, this one is a easel.
Oh, wow.
But that's on the acetate as well, on the front, that just sits like that. How beautiful is that?
Really fun.
Yeah, really lovely. Use with your swash dies there, so that's going to work really well. So lots of different varieties that you can use them. And we've still got another few coming up for you.
Awesome, brilliant. Rightio, what we're going to do is, before we go into the next hour and we have another look at the brand new launch today, we've got a few additions that you thought maybe you want to pop into your basket as well. Now, within the Showstopper, you already get your heatproof acetate. Maybe you want to get some more. Now, this is actually 3 packs, and it's going to be giving you 36 sheets in total. So 12 sheets within each pack. Now, this is, of course, perfect for doing all your heat crafts if you want to do your heat embossing, but you can still use it as that barrier when it comes to your shakers if you want to. So that's giving you 3 packs of this, 36 sheets in total, $7.50 or $11.50. You're saving over 35%. But look at your platinum price, £6 or $9.20, and that is your heat-proof acetate. Then what we've got is a back in stock. We've got our black card. This is our matte black card stock. Now with this one, it is A4 in size. It is a 3-pack and it's giving you 180 sheets in total. So matte black cardstock, 3 individual packs that you're going to be getting, 40 sheets within each pack, $19.98 or $29.98. You're saving over 30%, but you've got a platinum price of $15.98 or $23.98. £29.98.
Oh,
So
that's
say-
good.
That's really good, isn't it?
really good.
Really good. Giving you the 40 sheets within each, so it's giving you 180 GSM. I'm just checking, I thought it was 300 GSM. So if you are wanting to use it as card blanks, you can do that. Your mats and layers, your drop shadows, foil onto it, use your shimmers on them if you want to as well. But a really, really good essential to make sure you've got plenty within your basket. And if you're going for, of course, the brand new launch today, it makes it worthwhile just popping into your basket. Maybe the extra acetate as well, but certainly I would say don't miss out on that black cardstock. It is back in stock. The black is back in stock, but how long is it going to be back in stock at that price? Who knows? We're going to find out, well, probably throughout the day when it comes to the quantity starting to reduce. But they're all on Shop the Day as well. Have a little look, have a little peruse while you're there having a look at the brand new launch. What I would say as well, and I know I've been saying it all week, and I hold no apologies for saying this, and that is please do make sure, at least consider joining Club Inspire. It's completely free, even if you only use your Club Inspire once. 20% off your first order. That's your first order, not just one item. Take advantage of that. That could be, of course, your brand new launch. It'd be the black card. Wow, what a first hour we've had with our brand new launch today. It's all about our everyday half creator card dies. You absolutely loved and adored the Christmas range that we done. So what we have done is then we've come along with our everyday dies. Now what I have got here, we've got a couple of questions. One of them myself and Nicola have been going back and forwards just to find out. And I think we've managed to figure out and answer the question. It's from Jen Shank is saying, now this is coming in of course with the Memento Keeper that we were showing, and she's saying, would you know if the clear storage sheets from the Totally Tiffany scrap rack would fit the Memento Keeper? Now we believe it would. We are confident that they would, because the size of them are 12 by 12 or just a teeny bit over 12 by 12, so they would still fit, just so you can see. And also the main thing that I asked Nicola to be able to check for me is it's still got the 3-ring binder in the centre, which the scrap rack does as well, just like the Memento Keeper. So hopefully that one, Jen, answers your question. No other questions just now, other than just absolutely loving what you've done, Debbie, with the 2 demonstrations so far. Carletta saying pretty card, Lynn saying beautiful card, Moira saying what lovely makes, Robbie is saying, Debbie, what a great idea. I do not make dome cards because of the posting. I'll definitely be giving this a try with the hook and loop dots. Thank you, Debbie.
You're very welcome. It's just nice to get some new ideas, isn't it? Right, we've done a few simpler designs. I thought we'd do something a little bit more advanced. But the great thing is that you can always go back, rewind, rewatch it. And I love this style of card. It's very easy to do, and it's just doing something a little bit more creative. So the die itself, we're going to use that Celtic cross. And all I've done is I've got myself a piece of A4 cardstock. I've scored it in half, folded it in half, and then what you'll see is I've got 2 little lines, top and bottom. Now all I've done is I've used my die. So let's take the die off of here, like so. Just going to pop that to the back of my packaging. And then your die here, I've sort of more or less sort of put it where I think is the middle. I've just done it by eye. What you want to do is then score lines up until that point. I don't want a line in the middle. That's the only reason that I've put those 2. You can just about see them in there. There we go, we can see them there. So I've just done them where my die is going to go. The next thing you want to do, you want to actually die cut the inside of your card, not the outside.
Okay.
So we're going to place this die right in the centre, and I'm going to make sure that that line goes to the bottom here and the bottom there, right in the middle. And then we're just I'm roughly just seeing, I've got sort of 2 and a little bit, and that one 2 and a little bit. So it's roughly in the centre. It doesn't have to be perfect, so don't worry about that. The other thing you want to do is I'm going to use some low-tack tape, but our low-tack tape can get a little bit sticky. So all I want to do is just take off some of that sticky. You can put it onto your skin because the oils of your skin will take it off a bit, or put it onto your clothing as well. And I'm just going to use a little bit on the sides there just to hold that in place. And then we're going to take our die cutting boards and place that on the top, and then we're going to run that one through just like so.
I just think it's beautiful, this die.
You what, sorry?
The die, I just
it's
absolutely
such a
love
lovely
it. It's
die,
beautiful.
isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, it's really nice. There's something quite special about a cross, isn't there?
there is.
Regardless of your religious orientation or not, it's just a really nice sort of cross to have really for anything. Love it that it's great for Christmas as well. This could be used for Christmas
you're right.
cards. So lots of different ways. So what you can see that's happened is it's cut through only one side. So I'm just going to very gently lift that tape. And you can see by just putting it on my skin, those oils just stop it from sticking. So we're going to really gently just ease that out. And then all I'm going to do is take my pokey tool and just take out those other little pieces like so.
I must apologise if you're hearing the seagulls or that outside. They're being rather loud again today.
So loud at the
very,
moment.
very loud. So if you do hear that, we apologise. Can't do anything about it.
I wondered, Craig, if someone's feeding them at a certain time of day,
Could be.
because they seem to be twice a day, I've noticed, at the same time. So I think perhaps possibly
Could very well be.
someone might be feeding them.
Yeah,
so
'cause-
just that intricate die right in the middle of my cardstock. It has all die cut out. It just means I need to take that time to just push them through.
I think they heard me. They've stopped.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Now, that was the inside of my card, because what we're going to do now, Craig, and this is where it gets clever, because we've scored it, that's going to fold over, and then that's now on the front of my card.
I won't lie, I did think that you'd done it the wrong way at first.
No, that's purpose, so you want to make sure. So I'm making sure that goes to the edge, and then we're just going to burnish those mid-lines. And then that way, we've got that amazing inner part. Now, years ago, Craig, I remember you could get, not as intricate as this, but you could buy cards that had these in them, which would be laser cut.
Yes.
You'd only be able to get a card like this that's laser cut. So this way, it's just doing that slight variation, but because it opens on that side, it means literally you can have that as the front of your card. Now, this is where we're going to get a little bit more clever. So let's take these pieces away, making sure we've got all those. So the next thing I want to do is I want to create a border for around it. So this is where we get a little bit more advanced. So I took a piece of my papers. You know how I'm loving my Dipsy floral pad and my botanical gardens at the moment. So I've used another piece of this because I thought this would either make a nice Easter card, but I'm actually going to make a christening card out of it.
Okay.
So I want this to, I want the shape of this, Craig. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually create our die into there. Now, this die here cuts around this edge. So it means that if I cut this bit out, I want it to go the other way. So I'm going to turn it round onto the back of my card.
Right.
Because this side is cutting out. So when you cut this out, and all I want to do is make sure that I've got plenty of room, top and bottom here, so I can roughly put that back in. So all we're going to do is we're going to take this, and because luckily the papers that I've got have lines, you can see there's a grid in there.
So handy.
So I can actually line that up to my grid, which makes it really simple. And then we're going to die cut it. Don't worry, it will all become clear soon. So let's pop this down. And this is why I was saying it's a little bit more advanced, it's a little bit more work on this one, but that's why I thought I'd put it in the middle of my demos, and then you can keep watching it back or go back and watch it. But it's a really lovely one to have. So let me just make sure I've got all my plates the right way, and then let's run that one in. Just like so, because this piece of cardstock now is going to kind of become a twofer, and I will show you that in a minute, because a 2-for-1, if you don't know what a twofer is, it's not a real word, just made it up.
Just say it,
it's not
don't
my word, I've heard other people say it, so which is why. So let's bring that in. So we're going to be, again, really gentle, because this is paper really that we're cutting out of, not cardstock. I mean, it's a good weight, so it's not flimsy paper, but we still want to be really gentle. So I'm just going to ease that out, really just putting my fingers underneath and just easing all of that out of that die, because I don't want to lose that detail. I still want this. So we've got this part here. So then what we're going to do, let me grab my trimmer. So we're going to use our paper trimmer, and then what we're going to do is take this paper trimmer, and I'm going to, because I can see the line in the middle, I can see exactly where I need to cut it. So let's go up, going to pop that just there. That's going to cut exactly to that point.
And that's what you can't do with a guillotine, isn't it,
Can't do that with a
Debbie?
guillotine.
No, no.
And then, yep, that's in fact, I can see I've done that really straight. We're going to place that on there and cut down from that line. Look at that, perfect.
Perfect.
So we've got our 2 pieces, because I want these 2 pieces, because this piece now we're going to flip, and we've now got the shape of here. So that can now paper piece onto the edge. Look at that. It's clever, isn't it, Craig?
Clever.
So I know everything seems like, oh, we did it inside out and back to front, but it all makes sense when you put it all together. So I'm not gonna trim this until I know I've got it into place. So what I am gonna do is just hover it where I want it to go. So because I want to have a little white border down the side, and I want to make sure that we've got enough room here. Once I've done that, then what I'm gonna do is just put a little mark there. I can even break it, just like so. So those pieces now, I can bring my paper trimmer back in, and we can trim that down, and we'll have the perfect positioning. So we're just going to paste that there. I'm going to come in a little bit, because what I want that to do is to have that white rim at the top.
Nice.
So that's our first part.
Remember, we've got the paper trimmer on at £10, $10. So platinum price £8 or $8. You'll find it on the website.
Yeah, it's amazing, absolutely amazing. So that's going to give me now my perfect matten layer for the front here. Now what I didn't want to do is I didn't want to have this took over too much. So I thought, well actually, what could I do with this? You could use this on another piece of card. But actually I then thought, what about the inside of our card? So now I think, let's pop this to here and have a slight, we don't even need to shadow it. I'm going to put that directly in there, like so. And all I'm going to do, Craig, is I'm just going to run my fingers at the side here to tell me where that needs to go at the side. But also, I want to make sure that we've got, so just about there as well. So I'm going to, if you've got a pencil, I haven't got one at hand, I'm just going to put a little line there, because we're going to trim that to size as well.
So it's just using the tools that you've got, Debbie, just at hand.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just use them. That's what they're there for, isn't it? So there's my line. Let's come down there. So this doesn't need to be perfect. This is just giving you your sort of line of where you need to position. So I'm going to cut that one away, like so. And then where we have just put those marks, I'm going to bring that in, and we can go a little bit further in, just to give us a little mark, and then the same on the other side, just come slightly in. And that should give me that perfect positioning. Let's pop them to the side. So we've got all our bits out here. This will then go onto your inside, like so. But what we want to do, we want that to be in line with that middle section. So then when your card's opening, you've still got that beautiful die on the inside. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to just place that on the top of that first.
God, you're good, Debbie. You're good.
It's, you know, when you start playing with them and you sort of think, oh, I wonder if I can do that, and let's do this. And so we're literally going to put all this in on the inside. And then I'm just going to switch out for the normal one. But then what you want to do, you want to place that on top, and then you get that perfect positioning. So just on like that, bring your card over, and that way that's perfectly placed where that is, just not that one, but you can see absolutely perfect.
It is.
So we're then just going to burnish that one down as well, so that won't come unstuck. And then all we've got then to do is to put our front piece on. So this piece is going to go over the front, and then we'll finish with just a few extra bits, because like I said, I didn't want to fill up the white space, but I felt like it still needed something.
I get that, yeah.
So we're just going to make sure that we pop all this in, and then I will just use my dotty tape pen on the little pieces to make sure that all goes down. So that's going to fit perfectly on there. So, like so. So it's a really nice way of creating that round edge that fits perfectly.
And it just shows as well, Debbie, if you wanted to do really simple, create a card, cut into your card, that's it done. But you've still got so much creative play there by cutting in and chopping and laying and drop shadowing. You can still do all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. So with your offcuts, cut them in half diagonally. You'll get little corners. So just to finish off our card, I thought we would have these little corners that go at the side, so that really finishes off our card. So I thought it was a really nice way of just being able to add something extra without filling that gap, because I didn't want to leave that cross on, I didn't want to hide the cross. If we'd put the pattern papers over there, it would have really hidden that, and it just seems a real shame to hide that. So all we're doing is making those little triangles out of our scrap pieces of card, just to finish that off. And then I'm not sure if anybody has them, but in the on QVC we did the baby box.
That's true, yes.
You did it
Bundle
as well.
of Joy, I
yes,
loved
the Bundle
it.
of Joy,
Yeah.
yes. So I've actually stamped these out from the Bundle of Joy, Craig. So this was for a special little person on your christening. So I thought this would make a beautiful christening card, but you could have it where it's a Easter card. It could be a baptism. So I think I'm going to put this one over this side for a special little person, and then this one we're going to have at the bottom. So let's just take those off like so. I'm going to pop that, let's have that just there on your christening. And just to not have so much white space, I don't normally put sort of worry about gems, but I actually thought it would be nice just to have a few sort of coordinating little gems about, just to finish off on here, like so. Oh, thank you, Jamie.
As you just said, it is awesome. And actually, Sarah Brown is saying, absolutely mind-blowing, Debbie. What a beautiful card.
There we go. And there's your card. So nice and easy. It is easy, but I do appreciate it's a little bit advanced, but it's all doable. And that comes out, that's one piece of card, your A4 card, that just looks beautiful. And it's just making good use of those papers. I love this, that we're able to get that front layer and then the inside layer as well. Just makes a big difference to your cards.
Yeah, before I give you a recap of the showstopper, you've got Sharon Sweeney saying, wow, what a fantastic card.
Oh,
I said,
thank
of course,
you.
what Sarah Brown said, Debbie. Jeffrey is saying, great idea, 5-star to Debbie for that card. Christine Mahoney is saying, oh my gosh. I can't stand it, Debbie. I love it so much. That is gorgeous, all in big capitals. And Arlinda is saying there is so much love for what you've just done there, Debbie.
Oh, thank you so much. That's
incredible,
really
isn't it?
appreciated. It's just nice sometimes to think out of the box, isn't it?
It really is. It really is. And it just goes to show what you can do when it comes to the everyday half create a card dies. Now, if you want to go for just the 6 dies on their own, you can do, and they're there on the website. If you want them individually, you can do, they're on the website. But it's no surprise. Most of you are going for, the high percentage are going for the showstopper, and you'll see why. Because you are going to get the 6 brand new create a card, half create a card dies, still sizable dies, where one side cuts in, one side cuts out, as you've seen from the few demonstrations with Debbie. So you have got your Amour, you've then got the Bonnie Bow, you've also got the Rose Bloom, you've also then got your Love is in the Air. I just want to go, oh, oh. You've got the Celtic Cross as well, or as Debbie said, the Celtic Cross. You've also got the Charming Butterflies as well. You've got
I did it on purpose,
all
just to see
6.
if
I know
anyone
you did. I
noticed.
know you did. You've got all 6 of these brand new dies. Now, as I say, if you do want all 6 on their own, you can do that. If you do go for them on their own, they're going to be £95 or $110. That's the today's price. What you have got, if you want them as a platinum price, just the 6 dies, £76 or $88. Still great. But I'm going to tell you, it's not as good as the showstopper. Both myself and Debbie say this is probably one of our most favourite showstoppers that we've done. So useful, everything that you're getting. And I know the team and Emma that works hard in putting these together, I know that she always strives to put the right things with the showstopper. But as crafters, sometimes you just know she's hit the nail on the head, and that's what she's done with this showstopper. So, Showstopper gives you all 6 new dies. It gives you your 24 sheets of your linen cardstock from the Hydrangea. You've then got your 12 sheets of heatproof acetate. You've got your foam pads, and you've also got your 3 reels of the low-tack tape on the dispenser. Now, you've got all of that £105 or $130. Platinum price, £84 or $104. Now, that is such incredible value because your linen cards, your foam pads, your 12 sheets of heatproof acetate, and your 3 reels of low-tack tape. If you were to buy them all individually, altogether on the website, you'd be $41.96 or $54.92. But when it comes to the Showstopper, it means you're going to get all of that, the linen, the foam, the acetate, and the low-tack tape for £10 or £10 or $20. The foam pads on their own are worth £16.99 or $19.99. That's why you're all going for the Showstopper. And as I say that you're all going for the Showstopper, what many of you still need to do now is check out your basket. So what we're going to do, well, we have a little recap. Debbie gets ready to go in with our next demonstration. We're going to give you the opportunity to check out your basket. If you've already done that and you want to know a little bit more about Becky Swan, then here she is.
Hi, I'm Becky. I'm the soft craft expert for Crafters Companion. I've always crafted. I think because my parents worked at Shepperton Studios, I grew up at Shepperton. They were always working, so my holidays and my weekends and my evenings were spent at the studios, and I just sort of sit around with the other artists, and they'd give me a bit of clay to play with or some fabric. So I was always making things, and there were a couple of children around the same sort of age, and we just used to make clothes for our Cindy dolls. I'm flighty with my crafts. I want to try everything, so I go all out and I decide tomorrow I'm going to be doing candle making, and I buy all the stuff and I make candles, and then I lose interest and I move on to the next thing. I want to be able to have a little go at all sorts of crafts, and I've always been like that ever since I was a small child, so I think I can turn my hand and give anything a go. My craft inspiration, I think a lot of that comes from the internet, looking online, being able to watch sort of artists producing bits and pieces, as well as sort of just general crafters. But a lot of my inspiration came from sort of my mum and my mum's friends, which were all sort of great designers and people that created all sorts of different things. The Crafters TV audience have been so kind to me. So when I first started, and I've not been here a huge amount of time, and I've done a little bit of presenting, I got so many lovely comments from people when I started doing the presenting, and it was just really such a feeling. And it's nice that people keep messaging in, you know, we see the same people, and we know you can build up that kind of relationship with those people. So it's just the fact that people like what we do and they're pleased, and I do love it when people send us photographs of the items that they've made and when they've been inspired by the shows. I think that's great. My biggest achievement, when I put it on social media, I said that I was more proud of this than I was when I had my children. It was when I won a Demo of the Week. I was just absolutely gobsmacked that I'd won Demo of the Week. I don't often win Demo of the Day, so to win Demo of the Week, I was really, really super excited. Oh God, I can't give you the gossip because I promised that I wouldn't give any of the gossip away, but it is great. Lots of us stay overnight in a house here, which is brilliant because we all get to know each other on a real personal kind of level rather than just colleagues. So it's a really great atmosphere, and there's so much to learn from all of these people that I work with. So I feel really quite blessed to be part of this. And it is a happy family, I have to be honest.
Jay Presley is saying, good morning all, I love the new dies. Kathy Green is saying that's absolutely stunning. And that's what obviously Debbie just done there a moment ago. Now you can grab hold of the brand new dies. We've got our brand new everyday half creator card dies. You guys absolutely love and adored the Christmas range that we've done. It's the first time we've done something within that scale. Because you loved them, we've then come along and we've brought them within the everyday. Now I'm not going to go over it all because I went over it just beforehand. What we'll do is give you a full recap once we come back from Debbie, but you'll be able to see from your screen, you've got your Showstopper there. That's giving you everything. The brand new dies, linen card, foam pads, acetate, and also your low-tack tape. You're going to get it for £105 or $130, but your platinum price is £84 or $104. You're going to find it all on Shop the Day across on the website, although the icon for the brand new launch will just appear as well at the front. .co.uk, .com or .eu. So what we're going to do is we're just going to dive straight back in. We're going to go across to Debbie and we're going to see what other beautiful demonstrations she's going to do.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is my favourite.
I've been waiting for you to do this.
Yeah, but it's not the one I was going to do though.
Oh.
No, Craig, I've left it at home.
Oh, Debbie!
I'm going to take it to Hobby Maker with me next week. Although this is very similar to what I'm going to do, apart from I'm not doing it in the right colours. Next week I've got to, and I will post it on my socials, but I'm going to do a more Minnie Mouse inspired one because this bow just reminds me of that. I know, I'm very sorry. I am. Oh, they're all moaning at me now. I was looking for it and I was like, I don't believe it, I've left it at home. This one is just as nice, I promise you. And and you can do this the same way. You just want to do it with sort of Minnie Mouse inspired papers. But what we're going to do, we're going to do a box. So I thought a gift box would be really cool. So we're using that Bonnie bow. I do absolutely love this bow. I think I'm going to be using it on so many different things. Now, what we're going to do, now you might sort of think, because it's a Create a Card die, it's only cutting half in and half out. How do we do that? So I thought I would show you how you can do it on your box lid. And again, bringing in your acetate that you're getting in that showstopper. So first of all, I'm going to find my centre point. I'm not really too worried if it's direct centre, but I'm more or less sort of using my glass mat here and just placing it where I think that centre point will be, which I think is about there. And then we're going to make sure that you've got that same gap this side and this side, so a similar sort of gap, because we're going to be cutting away part of it. So let's just take our our low-tack tape, and we're just going to place that over here just to make sure that we have that securely fastened down, like so. Just in case anyone's wondering, my actual box lid size is 8 1/4 inch square, and then I've scored an inch side on the box lid side of my scoreboard. The base I've done slightly different. I've done it 10 1/4 inch squared, and I've scored on 2 inches on the box base side of my scoreboard, just so you know what my box is. Right, so we're going to place that onto our die cutting and then just run that through the Gemini.
Fab, excellent. I just love the different ways, the different demos that you've done already, Debbie, including the one yesterday within First Look.
Yes.
So far that's four so far, plus you've done the one yesterday. So many different demonstrations to see.
Yeah, and that's the great thing, isn't it, when you get something like this, because actually your inspiration can be anything, because once you've got the good dies, you just use your own papers, your own stash. Look at that. I mean, it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. All those pieces falling out. You could keep these pieces. Look at these little swirls. They're going to be coming useful as well. And they just look amazing. Now, let's take all those little pieces out, because once we've done that, we then want to get rid of this bit here. So let's take all those to the side. Just pop those in the bin. And then we're going to bring in our cutting, why my words failing me today. That's the one, paper trimmer. So
does that happen to be the one that we've got platinum price, £8, $8 across on our website?
So I know where my line is, so I've lined that up. If I bring that down a bit, you can see I've lined it up to that bit, and then I'm going to bring it in a little bit, just so I get to here. Think that might just need a little bit more, that's it. And then all I'm going to do is take where my line lines up to this line here, we're just going to trim down. And I'm just going to take it to the end here, so it can go. So we've literally, I think I might need just a tiny bit more there. That's it, and that's taken out that bit there. And then we're going to bring that round again and do the rest. So just cutting that down, using that guideline of where my cut is, bring that down to there. That's going to cut that. And then again, so if you can go for the paper trimmer, please do, because it is remarkable what you can do with them. If you think you don't need one in your life, please think again. You will be using it time and time again. Your guillotine has absolutely got a place. I couldn't do without it, but I could not now do without my paper trimmer. I don't know how I did without it before, I'm going to be honest. Although I did have one before, it just wasn't as good. So this one I absolutely love. So you can see we've took those pieces out, so we've got our beautiful image. Now, the next thing I want to do, I'm going to cut it out again in black. Although I'm not going to show you it cut out, because I want to cut it out again with some papers. I'm just making sure I clear my die. And then all I've done is where I've cut it out with black, I've cut the whole thing out. This is what I was saying yesterday. And I feel like I'm cheating you guys, and I'm really sorry, but just for quickness, because I want to get two more, I want to get this demo in and another one. But what I've done, you can see, that is the actual cutout from this design. Would have been better putting it underneath, so around that edge. And then it's really simple to follow those lines round. So just take your little snips and just go round. It's not perfect. I'm not the perfect person to cut out, but it doesn't need to be. So I've just literally used that to go round. And the reason being is because I want to actually highlight this a little bit more. So once you've cut it out of your black, you then want to cut it out of these your different pages. Again, I've used that Ditzy Floral. You know how much I'm loving that paper pad at the moment. I think, I've got a feeling it might still be 3 for 2. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not. So I do apologise. But the paper pad will be on the website. And I've been using it loads, and it just works really well with these dies.
And you can see that the way you've used them, Debbie, how just they complement the dies.
Yeah, so much so, and all the different ones, they're just amazing. I absolutely love them. Now, this is where you need to be just that little bit more careful. So what we're going to do is sort of slide this off, but on the back. So can you see I'm keeping most of these pieces in. So I found this the best way. If you've got some hold and release sheets, this will be perfect on there, and then you can hold all those in. So how I like to do it is just to take these away, but try and keep those pieces in your die, just the bigger pieces, like so. So it's just a case of turning it round, taking that out, and then you'll find that all your pieces will be left inside the die like so. And this is the perfect paper weight. I think it's about 240. So you've got those pieces there. If they hold into the die, a really easy way of doing this, because let me just bring in my piece of acetate. I'm going to put my acetate at the base underneath here, just like so. So I'm just making sure I've done the correct size. Might need to just put that a little bit round. It seems a tiny little bit tight, but I think that would be fine. And I'm just going to make sure I just take out any little pieces. And then what we're going to do is, let me just use a scrap piece of card just for my dots, because otherwise we end up with a very sticky mat. So let's just pop that onto there. And dotty tape pen, and then we're just going to go down over all that section just to make sure that we've got all those pieces. You do want to make sure that this is really well adhered, so make sure your dots. The good thing with our tape pens is that because it's blue, you can see where you haven't been. So make sure you switch that to the light so you can see exactly where all those dots are going, because you do want them to catch.
I would be inclined, Debbie, even to do what you've shown a moment ago with the black outline where you've cut around. Do that and use that as a project, as a standalone project. Maybe colour
absolutely.
inside. Or...
Yeah, I love that, Craig. Yeah, absolutely. And then all I want to do, actually, that's not very big there, so I'm going to just pop that to the edge as well. Right the way round. And that's going to hold my acetate into place. So let's pop that there, bring in my acetate, and just making sure I go to all those corners so it fits perfectly in there and on that side. Perfect. And then all we're going to do with that is burnish that down again. So it's just making sure that all those lines are really burnished well. And that's never going to come apart then.
Good to know. I definitely need to start doing that more.
Yeah, it's just a really good way. I am really good at doing that. And it just becomes second nature, Craig. You just do it then all the time. Right, so once we've got that part, you're then going to use these. Now, if you're really clever, and you would turn this over and your pieces, see that bit's already coming out, so you don't worry about the pieces that are coming out. You could glue all these pieces, use your little intricate glue bottle, turn it round, place it back in, and use the pokey tool to push them out.
Okay.
And that will then just stick them all into place, okay? So that is a good way to do it if they're staying in your die. The other way is, which I've done for quickness, I've actually just put them through my Xyron machine. Now, apologies if you haven't got a Xyron, but what you could do is you could use these, Craig, with your adhesive sheets.
Yes, that's true.
And you could literally just cut out that bow, and then they'd all be pre-stuck, which would be absolutely fine. So it's really easy to be able to do that.
If you don't have that, can you still use maybe like our tacky glue or?
So I was saying before, if you put your tacky glue, so what you could do, leave them in your die, Craig. You could either put your tacky glue into here, turn that round, place that down, and then push them through your pokey tool, and they'll all then just stick. And then when you see that one would have gone in and would have stuck into place as well. So oh, now I can't get it out. Well, it'll stick in there anyway. Look. But yeah, just because I thought it would just be easier, and also it might have not held in place in your dies, so it is sort of trial and error with those ones, but it's worth a try because a lot of the time you will be able to just paper piece back in from your die cut. But you can see how easy it is just to go back in with all these pieces, and they look so effective. But what's happening, Craig, is that because I'm doing a similar colour, I'm almost losing my die cut a little bit, which is why I've cut out one in black. Because you wait till we put the black over the top, you get like, it just then really highlights everything that you've got. So don't be frightened to use matching colours. Is what I'm saying, because there's always a way where you can highlight them. You could go round the whole thing with a white gel pen or even a black pen to highlight it, depending on how good your wobble movement is with your hand. But I've just done this so it's easy to paper piece those back in. Got my last bit, and Jamie's saying how good it looks. You wait, Jamie, when we put the black on. It's so effective. So again, I'm going to turn that round and we're going to burnish those pieces in because we want them to make sure that they look really well adhered, or make sure they're really well adhered in there. So yeah, that looks beautiful, but then we've got our black die cut. So we're just going to take that away.
Here we go.
Oh, just make sure, I'm just peeling it. I always peel mine this way because it stops them ripping less if they're being put through the Xyron. So just slowly taking, oh, that bit's ripped. I knew that would happen, but it's fine, it's fine. Up against the clock, that's the trouble. And then just peel that away. So once you've done that, we're then just gonna find our end pieces, and again, don't worry if it's perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just a case of putting that round, making sure all those pieces. You could use your pokey tool if that helps you, or a wet glue might be that little bit better. Tweezers would help as well. You could put that round, and it is just a case of following that line. I mean, until you've stuck it down, you'll still be able to sort of move it about. So a little bit fiddlier, but if you've got sort of time to just pop that down. So let's just run that round.
That is so cool.
The edge, like so. So that's going to find its positioning. That one could do a little bit moving, but I'm not going to worry. And then we're just going to do the same with this one. So it's a case of moving that round. That was the bit I broke there. So let me just make sure that goes in the right space. There we go. So just take your time when you're doing this. It doesn't matter if you get a little bit of a shadow, it's just gonna really add to it. But look how fabulous it now looks. It looks like we've put a completely different bow on the centre.
Totally different.
Tapping that in, I'm just gonna turn it over again. I'm always burnishing down, making sure that that won't come up. And then we've got that, look at that. So lovely, I just love it. Looks beautiful, doesn't it? And then we're going to put our box together. So all I've done is just to tie in those, the bow. We've actually done some borders. So let me bring those in. We've got some borders to go around the edges, and I bought some gold cardstock. The gold cardstock I'm just going to place on the inside here, because not only does it hide all your workings, it means that through these little swells they're going to look gold in between. So all I'm going to do with this one is we're going to apply our glue, but I just want to make sure I'm only gluing where the swells aren't, because I don't want that to the glue to show through there. So just pop that round. That's going to go inside like so. So that will be all on that back. So again, burnish that down. Then we can, oh no, we need to put our sides on. Oh, I'm not sure how much time we're going to get to do another demo. I'm hoping, think we'll still have time.
I'm sure we will. When we come back to me, I can just do a really, really quick recap. And then, so Nicola's given me 3 seconds when we come back. And that just means, though, Debbie, you've got 3 seconds to get set up for your next demo.
Oh, that's fine. I literally bend down, pick it up, and we're ready to go again.
There you are. Done.
It's more for me, it's the tidying away, Craig. You know how tidy I like to be, so
Yeah,
it takes
you
me a little
do.
time to tidy everything away, but we can do that afterwards, it's not a problem. So let's pop that on the side, like so, and then all we're going to do to make our lid is pop these pieces in. I've already made my base, so we don't need to worry about that. So let's just take those in to the sides. And just a quick recap for anyone that's just joining, I've done my lid size 8 1/4 and I've scored it on the lid side at 1 inch, and then I've done my base, I did that to 10 1/4 and I've scored that on the base side at 2 inches.
Okey-doke.
So let's bring that one in. I'm just going to bring my box in. And I've done that slightly bigger, which is why I scored that at 2 inches. That will go on the top. And then just to finish off, we've just got a sentiment, which we're going to just place a little foam pad onto there. And it's just a little thank you box that says thank you so very much. And we're just going to place that. In fact, I'm going to place it up here, I think. There we go. And there we go. There's our beautiful box,
Love
paper
it.
pieced. But yeah, it looks really spectacular, doesn't it?
There
And
you
yeah,
go.
you can see the gold gem is just down through here. So yeah, just a really beautiful way of decorating it. And not just using them for your cards as well.
Definitely not. Good way to see how you can do that within the boxes as well. How many phenomenal demonstrations have we seen already from Debbie when it comes to the everyday create a card dies. Now, if you want to go for the showstopper, you can do that. Now, the showstopper does consist of the brand new dies, of course. If you want just the dies on their own, you can get them across in the 6-pack bundle, but you can get them individually if you want. But it'll be no surprise that everyone's been going for, well, I can't say everyone, but most of you are going for the showstopper. Now that then means that you've got all of the brand new dies, but then what you're also going to be getting within that showstopper is all the additions. Now the additions include your 24 sheets of your linen cardstock from your Hydrangea collection. You're going to be getting your small foam pads, although you've got your circle foam pads and you've also got your strips in there as well. You've got your 12-pack of heat-proof acetate and your 12 reels of your low-tack tape. Now all of that is £105, $130 with your platinum price of £84 and $104. When it comes to the linen card, the foam pads, the acetate and of course the low-tack tape, if you got them individually it would come to $41.96 or $54.92, but within that showstopper it means you're getting them all for £10 or $20. The foam pads on their own are worth $16.99 or $19.99. Very, very quickly before we go to Debbie, Lois is loving that, Carletta's loving that, Valerie's loving that, Chrissy Mahoney saying, oh Debbie, you're so beautiful and so incredibly talented, such great demos, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And then just before we head to Debbie just shortly, Sarah Brown is saying, Debbie and Craig, thank you so much for everything that you're doing to keep us all entertained and keeping us motivated to do our craft. You are both so talented. I'm going to go now because I am up later on to watch WWE Elimination. No, she doesn't say that. But she does say it's 1:30 in the morning, so she's away to get some sleep. So.
I can't even begin to tell you how much your words mean to us. That is really kind of you.
And that's
we
why I
really
just wanted to end that
appreciate
one,
it.
Debbie, on Sarah's comment. So thank you for that one, Sarah. Debbie, right, I'm going to throw straight back to you for another demo.
Yeah, definitely. Let's get another one started. So I didn't get to get all of the 6 done, but we'll get 5 of them done. So I figured let's use the butterfly. We've got to use a butterfly, haven't we? And I'm actually going to make a similar card that I did earlier, but I'm going to simplify it.
Okay.
So exactly the same way, and just showing you how you can get it done, but in a much simpler way. So I've cut my cardstock. Now I've done this one to 7 inches by, it's just under 6 inches. So you can make it out of your A4 cardstock. And again, we've just put in in a little line on each side so I can see where we're going to put our line to, because I don't want to cut out that middle. And again, I'm going on the inside so we can die cut the inside of our card. So I'm just finding that line. I'm going to make sure that my line goes to the edge of that one and that one. And then we're going to come in with our low tack tape. So, and again, just take the little bit of tack off just on your skin, because it's just the oils of your skin. I mean, make sure you've got clean hands. I've not always got clean hands. They are clean. I meant they're normally grubby with inks and stuff like that. I don't have not bad hygiene or anything like that.
Keep digging, Debbie. Keep digging.
Just keep digging, yeah. I've done that before though sometimes, Craig, when I've done it and I've had really mucky, like stained hands with the inks, and then you put like these orangey like tape pieces on them. So, but yeah, the oils on your skin would just take a little bit of the tape off, but it makes sure that they come off a lot easier and don't go into your cardstock. So we're going to die cut into that one and bring that one in, so you can see, just take that little bit of tape out. Look how fabulous that butterfly is. It's just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So take that one away like so. And again, then what you're going to do, as soon as that's die cut out, well, let me grab my pokey tool, take those little pieces out. I mean, these would be great stencils as well to stencil through, Craig, because it's a great one. Now, remember, that's the front of your card, even though we cut on the outside, and then you're going to bend that. Make sure your actual die cut comes through the centre, and then it will actually work like so. So it will come out to the front of your card. So it's almost creating your own sort of half gatefold card.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
So just at the front there. So that's nice and simple. So what I wanted to do then, instead of doing lots of things like we did earlier, we're going to make this quite simple by just adding a piece of card to make this a little bit more rigid at the side. So what I've also done, Craig, and just because of timing, I'm going to bring my card in that I've already done, only because I've just splattered it with some of our ink pads. So what you were saying earlier about using your ink pads to add some colour. So I've just used the fuchsia and the crushed velvet, and I've just splashed some of that around this side. Now you can see a bit of mine's gone through. I'm not worried about that. All I did was put a piece of card on the inside so it didn't look too bad. And then what you want to do is to take some vellum. Now, was it the fuchsia vellum pack that we had in the sale? So I'm not sure if it's still there. We're going to check for you. But if it is, or any vellum pads that you've got, make sure that you use your vellums up, because there's so many different ways you can use them. So I thought it would be really cool to have these behind the wings. So what you want to do behind the wings is actually, I'm just going to grab myself a pen. So we've got a pen to go round. Haven't got a normal pen. I'm just going to use, in fact, it's better because you'll be able to see it. Just use your pen, and what I want to do is I want to use the plainer side on the back. So all you want to do is take a pen and actually go round the edges. Now I'm not going to do it because, in fact, I could do it with this one, because that one I'm going to use. Because I've got a pen, what it will do is it will make a black line around my image. So what you want to do is take the back of it. So we only want it to go to there. You're just going to take a pen or a pencil and actually just draw around your wing, just like that. The other way you could do it is to stick it on there first and then trim it out while it's still on there. So if you prefer to stick it down, then you can do it. And then all you want to do is take your scissors, literally, and you're just going to take, sorry, is it sold out, was you saying?
It was in that surprise box that you had.
Oh, apologies. I knew I'd seen it somewhere else. So the vellum is in. You probably could, can we still get the vellum? So you can still buy the vellum. So if you did want some of this vellum. Anyway, I'm not going to cut it all out, but you can see what I mean. Cutting all that out. And the only reason being not is because I've got one here that I've already done. So that is going to go perfectly, sit behind my piece there. Okay, so that gives me my vellum. So let's pop that to the side, because that's not the one we're using, is it? And then I'm just going to bring bring in some of our papers from that same collection, but again, I'm using what we class as the B side. And this is where it really comes into its own, Craig. You know, we talk a lot about the pattern side. If I was to put the pattern side behind my butterfly, it's going to lose it a little bit.
Yeah.
And because I want to also put some vellum behind the wing. So we've done it as the plainer side, and then that brings it out even more. So don't be frightened to use the opposite side of your paper pads. That is what they're there for. They have their uses. So we're just going to take our tape pen all the way around, like so. And we're just going to use that on that inside of our card. So that's going to give us our sort of grounding for the butterfly, just like so. And then on this side, I have got another piece of card that we're going to actually place behind. So we're going to pop this one behind.
Okay.
And the reason I want to put that behind, because I also want to put another piece of vellum. So I've got my vellum. We're going to put that behind as well. So that's just going to go on our piece of card. So then when we place that one in, I'm going to turn it the other way like so. Oh, actually, I have done them both brighter, so we will do it that way. That's going to then go in there. Not only will that aid as the rigidity for your card there, it will just make it look all nice and neat as well. So, because this time I've done it different. Before, with the other card, we actually cut round a shape.
Right,
This time, we're actually putting the card in behind it. So let's pop that on. I'm going to use my tape pen. It's absolutely brilliant for vellum because you cannot see it. Not that it's going to matter to this one because we're actually doing this behind our card, so it really doesn't matter. But you can see, you cannot see the tape pen at all in any of that.
Nothing.
So I love that about that. And then we're going to use our, let me have that bit of card that I've just been using because we want to use that. So this is the back. So on here, we're going to stick this underneath. So I want to use my tape pen, but just on this side. So I'm going to bring in the dotty tape pen again. And we're going to just go around all of that detail like so. And then we're going to place that over the top and making sure I've caught all of that. There we go. Oh, and just along the bottom there. Oh, it's a bit sticky still. So then this one will go straight over the top, like so. And then again, we're going to burnish that down. And then on this side, so why this is still here, in fact, I'm going to pop that back like that. We're going to do exactly the same, but with the butterfly wing, because then we're going to add our vellum butterfly, which is going to go over this piece here. So let's just, again, take your dotty tape pen.
That's going to look so beautiful through the actual aperture of the wings.
Yeah,
having
it's
that
really
vellum.
lovely, isn't it? Just a different way of sort of paper piecing it, but we're actually piecing it behind. And then we're just going to come down over the top there, making sure we've covered that entirely. And then again, just burnish that down. That's not going to go anywhere at all. So there we go, we've got our beautiful wing and you can see, it's just lovely, really beautiful. Now this middle bit is looking a bit scruffy. So what you're going to do is take a couple of pieces of the coordinating cardstock. So I've just took some purple to tie in with my crushed velvet ink. And then you're going to line this up to the middle section here of your butterfly. And then this piece here, you're going to snip that out, so that will die cut around these edges, and all you need to do is snip it out, and then this piece we're going to place behind. And just because of time, I've already done that, so can you see we've literally just cut that middle section out. And then I was thinking, how could we make that look a little bit better, because I feel like it's sort of antennae are sort of going, and so I've got one of our stamens out of one of the flowers. So I thought, oh, actually, let's use that. So we're going to just fold that up. So you've got two little, look at that, they're perfect. So we're going to use that onto here, and we're just going to pop them onto the back. So let's pop in some tape to start with. In fact, I'm going to use my dotty tape pen on that side and on that side. And then we're going to use these. So you can put them, I suppose, wherever you, how long you want them. So we're going to do them like so. Pop them like that.
Just think when people ask, you know, what sort of things can I do with my vellum? This is now going to be a great way.
Look at
Oh
that.
my God, that's so cute. That is so cute.
And that's just using your little stamens.
I could even be a little caterpillar.
Absolutely, yes. So we're just going to put some more tape over the top there. You could put some red liner tape just to make sure that it's a little bit more secure. And then you're just going to place that on there. Again, burnish it all the time. So burnish on top of that. So we've got our little antennae. And then all I've done is I've got some of the little corner dies that we've got from, oh, now I've forgotten where it's from, Craig. Where did I get them from?
Corner dies. Oh, that is from the, isn't that Set with Flowers?
No, it's something that's, was it a fuchsia?
Was it the fuchsia
I think
one?
I've got them from the fuchsia. Yes, I think, yeah. I went back to the fuchsia to get them. It's the Flourishing Swell Corners from the Fabulous Fuchsia. Yes, I did get them from the Fuchsia collection. They are on the website. And we're just going to place these in the corner. These would also look lovely in the, if we use these for that other card we did where we cut the triangles of cardstock, but you could use your corners as well. So we're just going to place that on the top there. And again, I'm just going to turn that over, make sure we burnish those down perfectly. And then all we've got left to do is to put a sentiment. So I love my swoosh sentiments. So all we're going to do is literally peel that one off. We're going to pop that through the middle. This one is Special Friend, right through there. Just like so. A little bit wonky, but that's the good thing with the swoosh ones. They don't have to, you don't have to worry about them being a little bit wonky. Again, burnish that down. And there we go. There's our beautiful
Brilliant.
card, butterfly card, which is nice and neat in the middle there as well.
Debbie, what a great card. What a great way to see, of course, how you can use your vellums. And then the take, of course, of what Debbie done earlier, but maybe just in a little bit of a simpler form. Now, we've done, what was that, 5 demonstrations within this show?
It was, yes.
5, and then 6 if you include yesterday from First Look. So you've got loads that you can come back to whenever you want across on our YouTube channel. But before we run out of time, before we have our break for a couple of hours, we are going to be back with the craft along, which is just an hour, but we'll tell you that just at the end with Debbie. This is all about the 2 hours here, launch day, our brand new everyday half create a card dies. Now it's a 10-piece collection in total when it comes to the showstopper. We've got our Amor with the love hearts. We've got the Bonnie Bow. We've also got the Rose Bloom. We've then also got our Love is in the Air. We've also got our Celtic Cross. And then we've got our Charming Butterflies, and that's the one that Debbie just used there. If you want to go for those 6 on their own, you can do across on the website, but it is part of the showstopper, which gives you your linen cardstock from the Hydrangea collection, gives you your foam pads, small foam pads, also gives you your heat-resistant acetate, which, just to let you know, the heat-resistant acetate doesn't have a protective backing on it. That is the construction acetate. I know there's a couple of questions or a couple of people wondering on YouTube. So it's your construction acetate that has the protective backing. So you've got that, and you've got your 3 reels of your low-tack tape. All of that, £105 or $130. You've got your platinum price of £84 or $104. And I know I keep saying it all throughout the show, but I think it's worthwhile doing, just showcasing the value of the extras that you're getting. Your linen cardstock, your foam pads, you've also got your heat-proof acetate and the 3 reels of low-tack tape. If you were to then pop all 4 of them in your basket, they would come at $41.96 or $54.92. But when it comes to the showstopper, it works out that you're getting those 4 items for a $10 or $20, and the actual foam pads on their own are worth $16.99 or $19.99. That is why the majority of you have gone for the showstopper, which I'm not surprised. Now, you can still check out your baskets even after the show. We're going to for our couple of hour break just in a wee moment, but when we come back at 5 o'clock here in the UK, 12 p.m. or for you guys, 9 a.m. Pacific time, we've got a 1 hour craft along, and Debbie's got her project there just to show us.
Yeah, we're keeping it nice and simple. It's going to be more about the colouring. We're going to colour this cute little mouse in, do some little die cutting. We're going to do the stenciling of the background, but just making quite a basic card, but it is going to be all about the colouring, and I can't wait to, well, for you to join us for that hour. It'll be good, Craig.
It will be. It really, really will be. If you want to head across to Debbie's social, Crafters TV social, you can have a look at the shopping list. Debbie will give you a run through it at the top of the hour once we kickstart when it comes to that craft along. Everything that you've seen so far and so much more we've got on Shop the Day across on our website. What I would also say is after an epic day yesterday with myself and Debbie with the Global Warehouse clearance, lots of it has sold out, but there's still some things just hanging on there. We've still got one thing at like a $5 or $5. We've got a few things at £10, $10, as well as a few additionals that are just left over as well, certainly from Totally Tiffany. So when you're on the website, have a little look there. As you've seen the videos well throughout the shows as well when it comes to Club Inspire, that's where you can join as well. All the additional benefits and all the information is at the top of the web address when you just click onto Club Inspire. Then of course what will happen is the more that you spend, the more benefits that you will get. When you get to that top tier benefit, that then means you're going to be platinum, where you're going to get 20% off all of your orders. Myself and Debbie, Nicola and Jamie and Jake, we will see you live in 2 hours for a craft along.